Okay, Mike Masato, CEO of Staff Driven Dental and the Dental Road Warrior, returning for episode 46 in the series. I want to give a call out back to episode 31, I believe it was, when I was talking about marketing. And I believe I was alluding to some internal marketing during that time and putting someone in charge of this and how to develop and work on one specific aspect of marketing, which is internal marketing. But I want to expand on the topic a lot because it comes up often, the subject of marketing and the importance of marketing and how to do marketing and go about marketing. So let's talk a little bit more about, creating and developing a marketing department in your practice and who's in charge of this and making it be effective. Because the usual thing that we do is in dental practice is like your marketing consists of getting on as many insurance plans as possible as a substitute for effective marketing, and thereby, as I said before, where we basically give away a large chunk of our revenue in return for being in the magic insurance book, which is supposed to flood our practices with new patients or potential new patients, because you're not necessarily new patients. And we don't know the quality of these people either. So we kind of defer out, whatever we write off each year. And just remember that those write-offs that you write off at the end of every year, that basically is the money you're paying out for marketing or for not having a marketing department on your own. So if you're writing off $150,000 a year because you're participating in tons of insurance plans in order to get new patients into your practice, that basically is your marketing budget. So think about that. That's a pretty steep price to pay. And I'm not saying it not effective. It just depends upon what insurance plans you're on, what kind of patients you're getting, and how hard you got to work and to make ends meet, and how much you're writing off. You're working 4 or 5 times as hard to make ends meet as if you were getting patients from better insurances or actually with no insurances and you're more fee for service. But that's a philosophical decision you have to make in business and work with somebody on to set that up. But ultimately, you need to have a marketing department. I can tell you as a business owner, and that's what you own, you have a business, and so do I, you're not going to get very far without a marketing department. And in any business, just like whether it's retail or dentistry, you need, or anything, you need a marketing department. I've always talked about 2 of the top most lacking departments and systems in a dental practice are lack of an effective sales system or sales department, and lack of an effective marketing system or sales department. So we don't put a lot of attention on these because these are business things which we don't learn about and we don't discuss in dental school, and then we get out and expect hopefully this is going to happen via autopilot, and we wonder why we struggle. So ultimately we have to decide on, yes, I have to have a marketing department. I have to have a budget for this department, and what am I going to put these funds into? First thing is personnel. My recommendation is, if you're going to do marketing, especially if you're a specialist, this is a no-brainer. If you are a specialist, there is in no way, shape, or form that you can make it as a specialist without having your own dedicated marketing person. That's a must. So I always teach all of my specialists, we have to recruit, hire, and integrate or promote from within, having a dedicated marketing person who's going to work on your marketing. Now, what those marketing things are, I call them their marketing pillars. You have to decide what are the 4, 5, 6 pillars of marketing that those are going to be our foundational things that we're going to work on. There's many ways to market your practice, but you have to decide on what's right for you based on your philosophy, your budget. What do you think is going to be most effective for your particular area, and decide on where you're going to put those resources. So again, you don't want to do 50 different things. Pick 5 or 6 strong pillars of marketing. Let's say you want to do public speaking. You're really great at public speaking. Well, that'll be one of your pillars of marketing. If you really want to boost up your referrals, really going to really work on developing your internal and external referral system, okay? That becomes one of your pillars. So once you decide on those pillars of marketing and what you're going to budget and put into these things, you have to put someone in charge of running this department to monitor it, to work on it, and follow through. Half the battle of marketing is not just lead generation, it's lead follow-up and follow-through, which often doesn't happen. We do these different things and there's no follow-up and follow-through, so nothing comes of these things. Nor do we track the effectiveness of these things, which is also a big mistake. If you're going to do marketing, you put someone in charge of it, you track it in terms of its effectiveness by putting statistics on it and monitor, how well each of these things is doing. So if we're going to do some kind of mailer, all right, for example, and we do that, or email blast, you should track certain statistics for each thing. So, and I call them the sub-product statistics here. You don't just have one general overall marketing statistic. You have my other statistics for each thing. So you would track number of calls in, number of calls scheduled, number of calls arrived, number converted, things like that. All right, so that would be a way to track each one. That tells us the effectiveness in different areas of our marketing, how it is. If we're getting no calls, that tells us something. If we are getting calls but we're not able to schedule them, that tells us something else. Well, if we do get them scheduled and they arrive and we don't convert them, that tells us something else. See, these individual statistics under the big marketing statistic tell you other things. So you want to track these things, and this is what we help through coaching set up. Because you have to monitor and track. Because I ask this question all my time with my clients when I ask them what marketing they're doing, and I ask them, is it effective? And it's a guess. I think so. I believe so. It's emotional. I feel like it is. You recall that one big case we got, from that $15,000 ad we ran in a magazine one time or did online, and that makes it, in our minds, amazing. We don't realize it took like 5 years of that marketing to get one of clients, because we're not really tracking the actual statistics of the effectiveness of marketing. So this is critical. Also, bonusing on marketing. And I talked about having a bonus system for your team for bringing in referrals. But overall, whoever's running your marketing department in charge of that has to have certain bonuses for generating not only arrivals, but conversions. I always bonus on those two things. First, if they get people to show up, fantastic. That's an arrival. Okay, that's half the battle. The other half the battle is converting them. Now, that's not all on the marketing person. That's on your internal people and your internal systems and personnel to make sure that they convert these people to stay and become like patients in your practice. So the other part, half the bonus, could be given on a conversion. So that also keeps them wanting to send in quality patients that have a higher likelihood of accepting, treatment in your office and staying with your practice. All right, so you have to look at that, having a conversion bonus as well. So half the bonus, let's say it's a $100 bonus per head, 50 for an arrival and 50 when they convert. And you have to define what that conversion will look like, what is considered a conversion. Not just they show up, but they schedule, they come back, and they're starting to do work or whatever. That's how it would go. All right, so you have some kind of tracking system for the bonus system. But the difficult thing is, where do we find this person? Right, you just can't put an ad in the paper or put an ad online anywhere or go to an agency and say, I need a dental marketing person. All right, that doesn't exist, because there is no school to teach dental marketing. So if you put an ad out for a marketing person, you're going to get all kinds of various people that have marketing degrees, and I can tell you, these are some of the worst people you ever met. I don't want just a book smart person on marketing doing dental marketing. I'm looking for the personality first and foremost. You're looking for what's called the PR personality. PR means public relations. There's a certain kind of personality it takes to be a marketing person, all right? And it's a social personality. It's the gift of gab, the gift of being able to schmooze with people. They have to like people. They have to be enthusiastically into dentistry and love what you do and love dentistry themselves. Now, these are some qualities. I would also lean toward having a female marketing person over a male marketing person. This is the way it is. Okay, they just happen to be a lot less threatening, and people really get into, are more likely to receive and be comfortable with a female marketing person. It's not by accident. The majority of dental marketing people are female that are out there. It just shows, the statistics will show that they're just more effective at that. So I would lean toward that. I'm not saying a male can't do this job. I don't want any emails or messages about sexism here. I mean, look, I've done marketing myself for years, and I did that before I got into dental consulting. But I can tell you, you stack up a female marketing person with equal skill set and training as I do, the female will win every time. It just will. The majority of the time, I would say 90% of the time, they will do that. Okay, so I would lean towards something like that. And look, dentistry is a women's world. Let's admit it. The majority of people in dentistry, women. More and more. Doctors are female now, more than ever before. And the same thing goes with personnel. So you really want to have people that are relatable if they're interacting with the staff of other offices that are also female and can speak the language of knowing what it's like to be in these roles. Okay, so you need that certain kind of personality and a certain kind of person. A professional person, a well-spoken person, a person with attention to detail, like I said, great communication skills, organization that can stay on top of those. And persistence is the key. It takes, I mean, half of marketing is the persistence of continuing to go at it. And I've done a whole, presentation on Dental Road Warrior about persistence in the past. Such a critical element of personality. Now, persistence of doing this day after day. Now, and if this person doesn't have to be full-time originally, and initially they can be part-time, start them out 2-3 days a week, but that's all they do. And their job is to basically go out and generate leads from the various pillars of marketing that you decide on. And where do you find this person? You can promote this. This can be a person that's been in dentistry that's just tired, they need to change. They got dental burnout doing hygiene. Physically, they can't do it anymore, or assisting, or they were a manager before, and now they want a different opportunity doing something else out there in their life. So there's a good place to start. Look for that. And I have the ads and ways to run to attract a certain kind of person for this position. And then, of course, you have to train them on this. The only variable is just training them how to do these different things to be effective. You just can't throw them out there and say, hey, go do marketing, all right? Go do my internal referral system, right? They need training, and that's where, coaching comes in to train them on these things so they can do it and follow through to effectiveness, all right? So you look for that kind of person externally. You can find them internally. Maybe you have a staff member right now that wants to change, that loves you and is a good promoter of you. And guess what? Sometimes your patients are the best promoters of you. You all have those patients that love you to death, I hope. And maybe they need a change in career, and they'd like to go out there and do something different than what they do right now. I have many clients over the years that had staff members that were once patients, that miracles were done on them, and they fell in love with dentistry and the practice, and now they work there. All right, so look at those people, all right, because those people are already into you and into what you do. Okay, so you're not, rather than just hiring someone cold that doesn't know you and doesn't know dentistry. But I would never hire somebody usually that doesn't have some kind of dental background and experience. Okay, that makes it a lot harder to get that person up to speed. All right, so again, I wouldn't go right to patients as your first choice, but again, don't rule them out. Again, with the personality, so key, so important, and in looking for this kind of person. All right, so again. You're not, to boom in practice, you need marketing. I know this is a longer video than I expected, but and I could talk about marketing for a long time. I'll do more. I hope this was helpful and useful. Just some pointers on getting this thing set up and do it, but you got to do it, and you can't do without it. All right. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please share it if you're enjoying these episodes, and I'll be back before you know it with another installment. Thanks for watching.